Welcome back. We just started Pillars of Eternity. My name is Ed Bott, and our character's name is Barzeel, for those who missed it. He is a wayfaring paladin from the Living Lands, and, we'll be getting into his story quite shortly. So, the Caravan Master finishes addressing the group, his bushy red mustache and swagging jowls quivering as if for emphasis.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you are planning a stroll through those ruins up there.
He nods towards a looming black mass on the hillside.
Whole area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who'd be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks. Tonight, everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
At last, the Caravan Master turns to you, frowning as he looks you over.
Touch of the rumbling rot, could be. There's a stinging beetle round here carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards. Unless you don't drink water, course. Which case you'll be dead in a day. There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry. About the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water. I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker, but see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here.
He nods in your direction. Sparful nods and slides his worn bow over his shoulder. Where would I find these berries?
They grow on a bush that's common round here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one.
What are those ruins?
Nothing you won't see on half the hills of Air Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay, if you don't mind getting stuck with Glonfoth and arrows now and again. They didn't build them, but I'll be the effigy if they don't watch them like a mother bear. Of course, all the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pond, so I hear. Got different names for them. Settlers called them Ingwithans.
Who did build these
Nobody
ruins?
that liked them enough
Sorry.
to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much.
Is it dangerous out here?
Not if you hurry about your business. And not if the weather holds up.
What kind of weather do they get out here?
This time of year, rain mostly, and wind. But there's a different kind of wind out here time to time. Locals call it a beawick, born out of the ether, the spirit's path. Never seen it myself, never cared to.
What are those huge
They don't
rocks
got
coming out of
Adra
the
where
ground?
you come from? Well, it just grows up out of the ground like this. Goes deep like tree roots. Some of it all the way to the heart of the world, you believe the stories. It's more like a shell than a proper rock. Easier to work if you're a mason. Got all kinds of strange properties. Seems to have some kind of life of its own. Dies if it gets dug up. Loses its luster. Folks think it probably grew at one point or another, but not these days.
Okay.
The soul butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things. I've heard tell it can hold a man's soul, but I don't care to see it. Got enough to worry about without seeing something like that.
I'll see about those berries then.
Hold on. Take someone with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. But you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep. Kalisha. Kalisha! He needs to find some springberries. Watch that he doesn't drop dead.
No promises.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her, you're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything. Off with you. Hayadin should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a beawick, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
Okay.
You heard the man. Let's get going before you keel over.
Of course.
He sounds so evil. He is so small and evil.
Anyone need supplies? I've got sundries for sale. Brought a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road.
He scratches one cheek with his knuckle. It's covered with uneven stubble, as if he hasn't gotten quite used to shaving on the road.
Say, is there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies for sale if you'd like to take a look.
Who are you?
I'm a trader, originally from the Adir Empire, but I've been trying to establish new business out here. Life on the road has brought some unexpected challenges, to be sure. And I'm sure you've noticed how prickly the locals can be. But we're here to make the most of things, right?
With an outlook like that, I'm sure you'll do well. Well, we'll see, I suppose. I'm just trying to do the right thing by my family.
Something else you need? Looks like we're settled for the night.
Why'd you move out all the way out
Because it
here?
seemed friendlier than Raid Saris? My brothers took over the family mercantile business a few years ago, and there wasn't enough for me to do back home. I moved out to try and expand.
He shrugs. Deerwood is a former Adiran colony, so it seems like a good place to start. As much as I admire the Red Saren's work ethic, they always struck me as a little fanatical. That's high-minded of you. A blush rises from under his collar. Not at all. Just doing my part. Tell me about the Adir Empire.
It's not as big as it used to be, but it's still big. The mainland is a continent northwest of here, but the colonies used to include Raid Saris and the Deerwood. About 150 years ago, Deerwood won its independence from the Empire. In fact, our companions are quick to remind me of.
He gives you a lopsided grin and nods at the other scattered caravaneers. Let's see what you got. Deflection 8. I think I'll take the... Okay, I think I'll take this. Switch it out for my small shield.
Something else you need?
Let's see, I'm just gonna sell the small shield back. Okay, and let's find those spring berries.
Let's check by those outcroppings.
Oh, dead deer. That's gross. Oh, hello, young wolf. Okay, let's loot the pelt and be on our way. I believe these are the spring berries we're looking for. Odoma said you've had some interesting travelers. I lived out on the frontier for a time. Yeah? How'd you happen to come out there? Or happen to come here? It was too quiet a life. I was looking for something more. Hazards of the lifestyle, I suppose. You had to expect it was a possibility, no matter how much you wanted, much you didn't want it that way. Kalisha breathes in her surroundings. Been a long time since I've been this way, but I always like it. Lord Radrick's offer makes a girl think, I'll give him that. You here to settle, just like the rest of this lot? No, I'm just passing through. That's usually the case with the big city just a little ways further up the same road. Where are you headed? Nowhere special, just putting time and distance between me and my old life as possible. Just putting as much time and distance between me and my old life as I possibly can. Seeing as how you're halfway between nowhere and nothing, I say you picked the right spot. Anyway, I'm wasting time here. Ordermo will give you me an earful. Let's be on our way. Why are you here? Kalisha sighs unevenly. Her eyes search the ground at her feet. My sister moved out here some time back. She sent me a letter. She seemed worried, but that's how she always is. This time, though, she asked me to come out, and that got me worried. I haven't seen her in ages. Been doing guide work in Ixmiddle. But I'll do anything for her. She's, well, she's a much better woman than me. And I'm here we'll see. And so I'm here, and we'll see. Tell me about yourself. I've got simple needs. I like open skies and far horizons. I find work that lets me live that way. My family wanders too. We started in Deerwood, but my parents ended up in the Living Lands. Hey, I'm from there. My brother's in Ruinatai, and another in Adir. My sister is in Gilded Vale. She's the only real homebody. What can you tell me about Deerwood? I'm not much of history, but from what I know, it used to be part of the Adiran Empire. Broke after a war some years back. The locals here are feisty, and that's how they like it. I've been out of touch, but I've been hearing weird kinds of things lately. People having trouble giving birth, I suppose. A lot of them. Been going on for years now, but somehow it's getting worse. With an uneasy tremor in her voice, she adds, I'd have to ask my sister more about it. Alright, let's get back to camp. You know, I wouldn't hold my breath for Sparful getting your water anytime soon. He does what he feels like when he feels like it. You should check up on him first. Slap him around a little. Stream's just a little ways down that way. Come on, let's get your water. But yeah, I really like how, like, a lot of the lore is just sort of left there, and they don't go into, like, huge long expositions about, like, the living land and stuff.
What a surprise. Sparful went hunting. At least he left the water skins. Come on.
Okay, let's get to... You crouch at the riverbank and dip your water skin into the cool water while Kalisha waits nearby, keeping watch. As you rise, you notice her look up sharply towards the tree line. Out of the tree emerges Sparfil, one of the guides, barely discernible in the dim moonlight. You know he no longer carries his bow, and there's a strangeness to his gait. His strides wobbly as he moves towards you with labored breath. Kalisha frowns.
Are you all right?
Sparful toe catches on a rock, and he collapses forward in a heap. The feathered shaft of an arrow planted between his shoulders like an enemy flag. Okay, first combat.
Ambush!
Okay. You take him out. No. No. Stop. And you take him on.
Yes.
Okay. Kalisha, get over here and assist our pally.
need something. Bring them down.
He's so small and angry.
Come on, we have to get back to camp.
Okay. Let's loot everything. Get him! Come on, and boom! Good hit, Kalisha. With the bodies. All around you lie the massacred remains of other travelers, peppered with arrows and knife hilts, splayed and bug-eyed and filthy. Kalisha puts the back of her left hand to her mouth as if to ward away some poisonous vapor. A handful of dark figures stand above the fallen, treading on limbs and backs and heads, jerking their axes from bodies as if half-split logs. One of them, towering severe with a thick beard tasseled with knots, holds a wet blade at the neck of a man you recognize as Heodin, the last of your caravan left standing. Lay down your arms, trespasser. Do not forfeit this man's life for a fight you will lose. Murderers! You will pay for each life. Death willed by the gods is not murder, but righteous. You have trespassed on a place where no mortal man is worthy. The debt is not ours to pay, but yours. So I say again, lay down your arms. Don't trust them! They mean to kill us all! Go ahead. Kill him. Do it now. The kind that... The man hesitates, his eyes narrow as he studies you. What kind of coward asks for his own man to be killed? The kind who will be so enraged by the amount of pain that no amount of pain will stop him from beating you so savagely that you will carry the disfigurement into your next life. Again, he hesitates, as if reevaluating his strategy. The man's gaze meets yours. You first, then. He shoves Heodin towards you. As he does, the man rakes his blade across Heodin's torso. Heodin screams and stumbles forward, a wide gash in his clothing beginning to bloom crimson. The man sets his feet to engage you, his axe raised high. He looks... Your enemy lies supine on the ground, unable to rise. His companions now silent among the other dead. His breath comes in wheezing, fitful gasps. He looks not at you, but at the sky above you. Forgive us. Barely audible beneath his choked sighs, a whisper of wind stirs the air. At this, the man's eyes roll back as he closes them. Good. Good. The gods are just. A queer smile crosses his face. I am ready. The wind begins to swell, whipping around the camp, electric and volatile, upending pots and rattling tents like an angry spirit. You could feel it begin to seep beneath your skin, and where it pierces, you feel it as though it is rending you apart from within. Seated against the wagon wheel amidst the howling maelstrom, slashed across his chest and bowel, Odema's body stirs, and with great efforts he raises his sagging head, his eyes barely open. He looks directly at you.
Get inside! Run!
Straining against the gale that threatens to pull you off your feet with every step, you set your hands to the worn folds of the weathered rock and set about pulling yourself up this precipice. With a last burst of energy before your arms give out, you swing yourself onto the ledge. Heoden trails behind, slowed by injury and delayed by early hesitation. As he nears the face of the rocks, one of the fallen attackers who had been feigning death lunges for Heoden and topples him onto the rocky ground. Restrained, Heoden lashes against his fatigued assailant, but struggles to break his hold. As they are close to you. Despite the wind from your position, if you were to throw your weapon at the attacker, you'd have a good chance of hitting your mark. Okay. I think Barzil would throw his weapon. Your aim is true, and the hit jars Heoden loose. Lurching to his feet, Heoden clambers up to the base of the rock. As he nears the top, however, the wind flares, pulling him sideways and tearing one of his hands free. But diving onto the hard rock, you manage to catch hold of it. Securing his other hand, you pull with waning strength, and it feels as though your arms will be jerked from their sockets. They hold just long enough for Heoden to set his foot and join you on the trembling ledge. There's a deep resonance to the swelling wind now. You feel it in the rocks beneath your feet and inside the cavity of your own chest, as though it would shake the marrow from your bones. Each new gust menaces the old stones before you, loosening connections, unsettling balances. As you dart beneath an old archway, the entire portal begins to fall beneath its own weight. Okay, so an exciting start. Massacred caravans, soul-rending winds, the usual RPG stuff. But as I was saying before, I really like how this game, I'll save it for another time then, I
Was
guess.
that?
A Bewick. Had to be.
Then we're lucky to be alive.
And we're the only ones.
We can't stay here. There could be another collapse. We're not getting out that way anyway. Let's get further inside. Can you walk?
Heoden tightens his jaw. He nods. Okay, I think this is a good stopping point. Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!